welcome to today's video, in which I have this 2002 Vauxhall Vectra GSI 2.6 V6. The 2.6 is an important bit. We'll come back to that later. Now, first and foremost, I have to apologise for the condition of this car. I washed it this morning, and then driving here, it looks like I've done the Paris-Dakar. That's just what happens in this country in January, unfortunately. So just ignore the filth. I tried my best. I did wash it, but never mind. Now, as I mentioned but a moment ago, this is a 2.6 V6. This was meant to be a final hurrah for the Vectra of this generation. So this 2.6 is a motorsport developed engine. It's absolutely fantastic. I want to talk more about that when we go for a drive. But you've got this very dashing little plaque on the top of the engine, which is very nice indeed. They only made 500, supposedly, of the 2.6, so it's actually quite a rare car. Aren't I a lucky boy? I promise I washed this car earlier today. It doesn't look like it, but I did. Now, I think one of the best things about this car is the way that it looks. It looks fantastic. You've got this lovely rear wing, a slightly different rear bumper, different wheels, side skirts. The front bumper, particularly with those gills down on the sides, is magnificent. I really like the way that this car looks, and it's in a good colour as well. I like the blue with the silver. So overall, it's a very handsome little car. Now, unfortunately, it's quite common for Vauxhalls of this age for the badges to come off. So this particular one is a Vauxhall Vectra 2.6. It's a particularly rare one. What have I done with the keys? Keys are an important part of driving a car. Oh, they're over there. Right. Battery's gone flat. So what are my first impressions then? Well, while I'm just going slowly through town, it seems very quiet, quite comfortable actually. The suspension's quite floaty. It does make quite a nice noise actually. Now, I've driven a Vauxhall Omega with the 2.5 litre V6, but this is the 2.6, and it seems to have a little bit more get up and go. It seems to have more torque low end. So I'm just going through a village at the minute, and I'm doing about 1600 RPM, and even then, third gear, off we go straight away. It makes a great noise as well. I do like the noise this car makes. That's my favourite bit, about 2,500 RPM, it goes I don't know whether you can hear that. Hang on, tunnel. It's quite slow, actually. I'm not a massive fan of this gearbox. The gearing ratios aren't too bad. They're quite long, but then it's a 5-speed, so that kind of makes sense. But the feel of the gear selection is horrible, frankly. You might not be able to see this on camera, but that's in gear and the gear knob's going like this. And then trying to find first, no hope. You just pump the clutch, and you've just got to try and find different places that you can put it so that it'll go into gear. What's the interior like? Well, it's a Vectra, really, so kind of bland. This steering wheel's quite fun. It's like plastic, but metallic painted on the top and bottom, so that's kind of cool. I really like the seats, actually. These Recaros are really nice. And they're quite comfortable, and that you've got the little thing that you can pump up that inflates the side bolsters, so you can get comfortable in them. So that's a really good thing about this car is these seats. Rest of the interior is incredibly bland and plasticky. It's all like scratchy plastic. That's nice, the fabric, but it's all feels very cheap. But then I suppose it was, really, compared to its competitors. It's got windy windows in the back. Only the fronts are electric. What's the steering like? Sort of average. It's not woolly, but then it's not exactly direct either. And you feel the car flopping about. It's like it's too heavy for its suspension. Horn works. Ah, gearbox is terrible. That really lets it down, I think, that this gearbox. It just really detracts from the overall driving experience. Third gear, I'm flat out at 3,000 RPM. 4,000, 4.5, 5. Building speed, it's just not that quick. I don't know whether I'm desensitized to quick cars or something, but I'm flat out and it's kind of boring. But it's a GSI with a V6. You'd expect it to be sporty, but it does not feel it. It feels lazy, and this gearbox really ruins it. It's sloppy. If this had a crisp and tight feeling gearbox, I think that would really improve it. But it just doesn't. It does make a great noise. The exhaust tips are on that side, so I'm going to see whether you can hear it a bit better. So then, what are my thoughts of the Vectra 2.6 V6? Well, it's kind of like any other Vectra, really. The engine is a peach, perhaps slightly underpowered. It's not particularly quick. Makes a lovely noise, but you'd expect it to be a little bit more sprightly than it is. Seats are lovely. Rest of the interior's like any other Vectra, so yeah. The body kit, especially this front bumper, looks awesome. I really like the way that this car looks over the standard car. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you'd like me to film next, because I always enjoy suggestions, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.